Hi everyone, I just wanted to do some quick explanations today and tutorials on the Heidi Swapp color shines. These are the colors that I have, and I just picked up black on Blitsy because I haven't been able to find that particular color locally. So they have all the colors, I believe, on Blitsy this week. So I'll post that link below. So make sure to check it out if you've never seen their website. They do discount everything on their website. And I usually buy in bulk off of their site, so I kind of look at it as what I would pay for tax is what I'm paying for shipping. So it's a really great little find. Now these are, what they are is, say for example, this was just some manila cardstock, manila folders, and I just used a circle punch and I sprayed the color on the front. So you can see here it has a lot of shine to it, but it also has a lot of color. So that's the sweet cherry. This is the tinsel, and you can see how the coverage is so opaque. It covers really, really well without even using that much spray. This one is bronzer. This is primrose. This is Georgia peach. This is amethyst. I really like that shade of purple. This one is chartreuse. This is mustard. This one is the teal, probably one of my favorite colors out of this collection. And this last one is mint green. There is a discernible difference between the two. I don't know if in this lighting you can really see that difference, but there is definitely light blue and then greenish blue. So those are the colors, and let me pull out some of the pink paisley items that are also available on Blitsy this week and show you how to use these with those items. So some of the items that you'll see by Pink Paisley is in a separate section there on Blitsy, and they're called Artisan Chipboard. And so these are the butterflies, and what you do is the instructions are typically on the back. Let me see. Yeah, this one has it more easily. I love these. These are the arrows. So I'm going to color a few of these today to match the collection that I'm working with on my Project Life, and I'll show you what they look like. But in essence, this is what you do. You spray your mist, take off any excess with a paper towel, heat set it, make it as thick or as thin as you want in color. So those are the arrows. These are the butterflies. These are the hearts. So I'll be spraying some of the hearts as well. And then I really loved these. I'm not going to spray these today because I am going to use these for our trip that we're taking. And I want to make sure the colors before I actually spray all of these words. But this is another option. They're called Artisan Words by Pink Paisley. You can also spray those mists on here in the same way that I'm going to demonstrate on those. The last thing that I had picked up from them is called the Artisan Papers. And they don't look like much. They look all white. But what's nice about these is you can blend whatever colors you want on them. And then, for example, like this chevron pattern here, I can spray that mist on there and then be able to cut out any shape on my silhouette cameo from these sheets right here. Today I'll demonstrate how to color them, and then as I go into my Project Life, I'll show you when I cut some of these out on the silhouette cameo. So the first one I'm going to demonstrate today is one of those Artisan Papers from Pink Paisley. What I do is I look at the paper collection that I'm working with. So in this instance, I'm working with the Neapolitan paper pad, and I flip through them and see what colors really work well. So this page here really has a good sampling of all the colors that are in this particular paper line. And so I found that the sweet cherry matches up really well with the red, and the mustard matches up really well with the yellow in this collection. So for this artisan paper with the chevrons, I'm just going to do some random spraying to get some yellow as well as some red on here that we'll be able to use in this collection. So after I wiped it off with a paper towel, you'll see kind of the contrast between the two. This is a resist type paper, so it holds the color only where the rough areas are for it to hold color, and then the glossy areas resist the color. So here now I have some pink stripes I can cut out, a little bit of orange where it blended in the middle, and then that mustard yellow on the edge. So now I can either cut these as individual strips, or I can actually cut out entire designs with the Silhouette Cameo straight off of this sheet. So the last one I'll show today are the Artisan Chipboard pieces, the arrows as well as the hearts. I'm just going to use one color just to make things simple, and we'll use the Sweet Cherry. This color is used a lot in the Neapolitan collection. So I just shake it up really good. You can hear the little ball, and you can kind of see some of the glimmer on the bottom here. But that mixing ball really helps, and I haven't had any problems with these clogging on me at all. So then the next thing I do is I just spray very liberally on top of these pieces. And you'll see it really pools and gets onto the mat, and so I always use my Ranger silicone mat when I'm using these mists. Either that or I spray them in a spray box. So either way works really well, and you can just pick up some of the color off initially so you don't end up with it all over your hands. And then I'll actually go in and rub on these pieces just a little bit harder to let some of that white show off a little bit better. So you can see, like on this arrow here, it still leaves those really nice crisp white lines showing through, but the color will match your project. Same with this little arrow. It's the same way, has a little bit of white that was resisted and it shows through. The hearts have a little bit of a different pattern on them. It's almost like a chevron pattern. And here is that color. Just really, really pretty. And then here is the last heart. And again, I wipe that off. And when you wipe it with a paper towel, you don't have to worry about all the color coming off. It will not. Enough saturation gets into that rough area, and it does hold the color. So when I'm done, all I do is just wipe this mat off with a baby wipe, and all the color will come off of my silicone mat. So I hope that gives you some ideas on how to use these Heidi Swapp color shines. They are on Blitsy this week, and again, I am posting that link below, and I hope you have as much fun using them as I do. So you'll be able to see these elements used on my upcoming Project Life pages here in the next week. Thanks for watching.